Hello, hello, hello.
Hi,
We're here
welcome
early.
for I know. So welcome to a special edition of the Coily Crowns. Ooh, okay, sorry, I had to make sure I had put my volume on silent. We are the Coily Crowns. I'm Miss Shantae.
And I'm Lori, and welcome to our Queendom. Hey, y'all.
Yes, so this is a special edition of of the Coily Crowns. So we're doing it tonight, Saturday, instead of our normal
Yes.
scheduled time of Sunday. But we'll be back. We'll continue to do on Sunday. So again, hit the notification button so that you are aware of when we decide to go live, and hit the subscription button while you're at it.
Yes.
So we are recapping, talking about episode 3 of Ready to Love, found on the OWN network. This week is the men's week. They are in control and they get to select which lady is removed from the process. Also, what was different here is Tommy, our nephew Tommy, hosts and oversees everything. He sets up the men on blind dates. So they don't know what's coming, who they're dating, if it's a one-on-one date or a group date, none of that. They don't find out until once they're at their location and see who comes through the door. So our first date was an interesting couple. Did not see this one coming. Marvin and, I call the girl Tequila, but Tequila.
Tequila. Yes.
Yeah, Tequila. So they're the first date. They start off kind of like they cool, a little energy between the two of them. Nothing to show like there's any real interest, but they're like, hey, we're gonna have a date, we're gonna have a good time, and see where this goes.
Why do you think that they set them up? What's your opinion about, or why did you think Tommy set them up?
I don't know, but I've said from like episode 1, she ain't gonna last long. So I feel like he's just setting her up with him. Just, I don't know, see the reaction maybe, especially after the comment with the whole thing with Philip, right? Because she asked him about where's like the wildest place he's had sex. He answered, but then she was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then here you have Marvin, this erotic author, who is into what is it, BMD or whatever that's called. So I feel like it was for shock value, basically. I guess as I'm thinking about it, probably for shock value.
I was just wondering how come she was all over this episode. Like there was people, like I noted that Quentin wasn't anywhere in this episode except for at the very end. And I was like, what happened to him? They didn't even explain, like maybe he was away on business or whatever. He was just non-existent this entire episode. He
Was
didn't
he
go
the
on
only
any
one?
dates. That's why I started going through and be like, did we miss anybody else?
I
But I
don't know
think
all the guys
everybody else was
still.
there except for him. So I was like, that's weird, number one. And then Tequila, of all people, I was like, do they feel like she's on her last leg? So they're just like, let's just throw her in there and see if, maybe the guys will change their mind, or they'll just be like, no, we just, whatever. Because it was just weird to me.
I think it was, they knew it was coming to an end. Like, it's kind of obvious from the beginning, don't nobody really like her. So I think it was like, okay, we'll give her last moment. 2, sounds like they never really connected. So perhaps Tommy was like, okay, since those two haven't really had a conversation, connected in any way, let me put them two together just for that fact alone. So I'm not sure. Definitely it was really those two. You would think you would maybe do it as like you would anticipate a love match, like, oh, those two really like they would be
Exactly.
good together, so let me put them. Yeah, definitely didn't get that with those two. So I think it was what you said. she's on her way out. They knew that she was, coming to an end. So here's her last little, I don't know, being on TV. And at the same time, what I was just saying, I'm thinking, hey, this could be some good TV, because she obviously is like maybe not into the whole erotic author thing, into Marvin and what he's into, and that could blow up and have some kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, I can say that I learned a lot more about Marvin in this date. So I was happy to see it. He just seems so like playful and giddy and light.
Did he seem like a different person?
He did. It didn't even seem like the same person. I guess maybe because they be doing these snippets of him talking about the whole erotic thing. I'm sure he's not talking about it every chance he gets.
All the time.
And that's what they're pumping to us to be like, oh, look at this weird guy over here or whatever. But he just regular, he didn't talk about that at all this whole date, or they didn't show it. And it just seemed like a different person, like, wow, okay, interesting. So I did like to see that side of him, to see why maybe people like him and he hasn't been at the bottom. Because to me, I would think he would have been like automatic, you are not here for love. But maybe they're seeing different sides of him, and we just got a glimpse of it. So I did like that piece of it.
Totally see the show leading with that, right? Because again, shock value, trying to get you to pick sides in a way. Like, oh no, like you just saying, he not here for love. He just up here looking for somebody to
That's what
get
I thought.
into that lifestyle with him and all of that. But as you said, we're seeing snippets. So these people are talking or dating or meeting for hours, days. So we only see snippets. And it is good to see that there's more to just that. I was expecting him to bring it up on his date, because that's what we seen in the previous episodes, that he always ended up bringing that up. So it was like good to see him in a different light, to see him kind of like, I don't want to say a normal person, but like he was just relaxing, having fun. Like they went to like play a game, like, so it was just like chill mode.
Yeah. So that's what I saw from that.
Okay. He did admit though, like towards the end, which you could see it, there's no romantic feelings there. And we know that wasn't happening.
Nope. Sorry.
Okay, so who was next?
What I have on my notes is, this is our first wild card date, which, okay, y'all, I know, third weekend, I'm still new to this process. So it's Chris sitting down at a restaurant. We know Tommy's gonna set up all the guys. They show this lady walking in. They're not showing her face, and they're showing like all these different body parts, whatever. She comes in, and he was like, who is this lady? And I'm like, who is this lady? What is happening? So apparently she's a wild card date. Her name is Katarina. Her short nickname is Kat. And she is an RN. Well, I'm a little confused what she is, but they introduce us as an RN. She has all the little scrubs, this fake bio that they do for her, because she's in nobody's hospital. She had scrubs in the office. I was just like, what is this? With some paperwork. So she was like looking all official, and how she's, successful. She has like 3 degrees or something. They showed her graduation, all this kind of stuff. So she's educated, blah, 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 accomplished, everything. So she sits down with Chris. Chris is all smile, all cheese. And people, okay, maybe not say that. I have a thing with teeth.
What?
And the way how he smiles with like, you smile. Let me see your smile. Smile.
Now you say that.
No. Okay, I'll smile. No. See, smile. So I have a little bit of an overbite, and I think most people do like a little bit, like a little lip. But his 2 top and bottom connect like together, and it's so weird to me. It looks like a cartoon. Is that weird? It's weird. I know.
No,
but anyways, I see. That's all I see every time. And he has a nice smile. It's not like his teeth are or gross or anything. It's just the way they connect looks weird to me. It looks very like fake smile, but he's happy. You know, he was giggling the whole date and
Was he?
sharing, which is like we haven't seen a lot of Chris. So it was good to kind of learn a little bit more about him and kind of stuff that he likes while learning about this brand new person, this random. And they seemed like they were hitting it off. So I don't know if Tommy felt that they were there. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the chat. Maybe Tommy felt that Chris wasn't connecting with anybody yet. And that's why he put them together because he really hasn't. It's not like you see certain people are starting to like, even if they don't pick one, they have a couple. And I don't know who would be on Chris's list. So maybe he was just like, oh, go ahead.
Last week, I don't have my notes from last week. Who was he with at Aries' house? He was checking Jessica. Okay.
But I didn't see nothing there.
They were just talking. Yeah, they were just talking. But that was the first time we've seen him with someone like one-on-one like that. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, but the date looked like it went really well. You know,
it did.
So I don't know what Kat thinks because this is Kat's only person that she knows right now. So now when she starts meeting the other guys, maybe she won't have such a strong connection with Chris because now there's options. So, we'll see how it goes. So did you have anything else for the date that we learned? I don't think I have nothing else in my notes.
Just that the two of them, they were talking about how they had all these things in common. One of them being that her dad was from Africa, from Sierra Leone, I believe. Okay, so they have that in common. They talked about being like outdoorsy and things like that, and their love for food and how they only work out because they love to eat. So that kind of keeps them.
Child, I need to get on this diet plan to be working out just to eat because I just eat to eat.
Just to eat. Just eat to eat. That's why they stay fit. But overall, there definitely seems to be chemistry there. Like, just initially, like they get along. Obviously, he was attracted to her. And as you said, though, this is the first person she's met. So I'm sure she's kind of like keeping reserve and see who the other guys are, because she may have a better match. So as she gets to know the other guys. Okay, so next is our other new addition to the crew. We have another Chris. I'm gonna call him New Chris. So he's new
Christopher.
Chris. Oh, Christopher.
He introduces himself as Christopher. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Christopher and Janelle. So Janelle gets to meet the new addition first. Well, you exhaling already.
Oh, sorry. You can hear that? Let me go on mute.
She got something to say. She ready.
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the basics that I caught for Christopher. He's 33 or 34 because the screen said 33, but he said 34. Oh.
Come on.
He is an entrepreneur with his family. They own a security company.
Right.
He is originally from Mississippi and he had a big accent too, but he grew up in Texas. So one of the things that he found out that they have in common is that they both went to the same, was it middle school or high school?
I thought it was high school.
One of them. Same school. Okay. So they found out they got that in common. He came out asking questions about whether, was that him? I think it was him, right? Whether she had been married before. She said no. He said he's never been married either and not engaged. And then he asked her, and we find out that she has been engaged. Did she say a number? I feel like she started to say 2, but then kind of started laughing. So I don't know if I called a number.
She didn't. She wasn't clear. I don't know.
Okay. It's just that she'd been engaged prior. Okay. So come on, let it out. What you got?
Oh, that's it. Okay. So they're making pizza together.
I'm trying to get to know what you got to say.
Oh, he's trying to get to know Janelle. I don't know why Tommy hooked up Janelle with Christopher. I don't don't think Janelle needs any help to have one-on-one dates with a new person. I feel like he could have hooked up Jessica or Aries, or I'm trying to think who else really hasn't attached themselves much. I think like, or Sierra. Like, it just seems like Janelle already kind of has her focus. Like, Lee kind of has
two
her
people.
focus. Kira, I don't know what Kira is, but I guess she's there, whatever. But I feel like Janelle didn't need this extra one-on-one date. So I was a little confused with this. And then I didn't see any connection between the two. And I feel like I don't really understand Janelle. I feel like I don't really know her. I feel like she has a little, she's very competitive in this process, but then she's competitive for everybody. And I don't understand what's like, do you actually like anybody, or you just don't want other people to form connections until you figure out who you like? I don't think I like that. So I guess I'm just.
Oh, well, she said you think there was competition. I mean, we saw last week how she was acting about Red, which was like, who? Why? Where'd that come from?
Right, because I thought she liked Herbert.
Right. So okay. So you're just referring to that instance, or
well, no, but she's also
happened?
talking to Quentin. Who did she say she was on?
Yeah, I
on the
thought you were
phone
talking about like competition in regards to like the other women, like directly.
Yes, all the other
saying.
women.
So
I feel like all the other women. That's what
okay. I'm thinking you're talking about like there was an actual instance that happened,
no,
like similar to like Kiera or something that I may have missed.
No. I don't think so. I get a read on her that she's just like, I have to win, but I don't know what she's.
I want them all.
Right, exactly. I want them all. Like, you can't have them all. There's all these other women here. Like, I can see if she's like, this is my guy, right? And I don't want him. I don't want to share him, but I know this is the process, but this is also my guy. So she's setting her intentions to make sure that this person knows that I like them. I want you to also like me only. And so we can lead this process together. But she's like that with like anybody that she feels like. And I'm like, how you want 3 of them? Like, this is not that kind of show. You can't leave with all 3. Like, pick one. I don't know. I just but maybe that's how you get somebody at the end. I don't know. So anyways, I'm already not feeling her. I'm not feeling this connection. I don't know why Nephew told me did this. I actually think Christopher and Kat would be a good match. And I would want to see how they look when everything kind of gets switched up. So I think the wild cards need to get together, get back off the show. Because I'm like, if we keep adding people to the show, when are the show gonna be over? Are they gonna kick off like 3 people one day? Because I'm like, you just kicked off 2. Now you're gonna add 2. The math is not mathing.
So they just started adding these new people in the middle of it like 2-3 seasons ago. And I think there's only one other season I can remember that they brought in 2 and then eliminated, so many, and then brought in another couple of new people. I think my memory is so bad. I don't know why it's so bad. Because I want to say that's what happened. But they did definitely bring in 2 new people for the last couple seasons, like as they've gotten through the first couple episodes. So I think this actually seemed a little early to bring in 2.
I think early is better though. We're talking about it's episode
before
3.
You get some real connections,
exactly.
Right?
Now you're gonna try to throw a wrench in there, but we'll talk about the bigger group date. How now people are like, wait a minute, who are you? We good over here. You don't need to come up in here. So anyway, I just was like, what is this date? I wasn't feeling nothing about this date, and I didn't think she liked him like that. I think he was just like, I'm open. I don't know if I like you or not, but I'm open. And that was it. Just could have fast forwarded through all that.
I mean, I thought there was some attraction there, and it could be that you still think a person is attractive, but there's nothing there. But they just seem to be like, going with the flow. Yeah, okay, I'll introduce you. to the process. I'll be your first date, and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Why Tommy would have put them together, I don't know. Only thing I can think of is because others have found her attractive, that maybe that's his way of saying, hey, this is what you got to look forward to. There's a whole, set of beautiful women. I don't know. I could be just, I'm grasping for reason here. But he had to meet somebody first, I guess. So that's Janelle and Christopher and their new date. So after that, we go to this group date that made no sense either. Philip, Tequila, I'll call the girl by her real name, and Sierra. I don't know.
I was so confused.
What that was about.
Like, what is happening here? I could see them doing Philip and Sierra. Philip is another one that really doesn't have anybody, that I don't think he's made anything.
No.
So exploring Philip and Sierra probably would have been interesting. Why is Tequila here when she had her own one-on-one date with Marvin? I don't understand what's going on. Why is she here?
I was like, well, she already had one, so why bring her again? TV. Only thing I can think of is because they had a little tiff early on that they were like, okay, let's see what else can happen out of this and see if something blows up.
Aries should have been there, or Jessica should have been there. Heck, throw Kira in there, because Kira really don't have
said that these were two women that he would normally not really date, or he didn't have much in common with. So maybe that's also the reason that, he set them up, because it was like, don't go to what you normally would be attracted and go towards. Here's to the. I was like,
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
Nephew Tommy, come tell us. I mean, we don't know. I don't know. We got to go to the man himself and let him tell us why he selected these people. It would have been nice though if he would have said, "I'm connecting these two because X,
because yes, I think maybe that's my problem, is that I just don't get it. And then at least if you hear it, then you're like, oh, okay, we'll watch it in a different lens, because I was just like, oh my God, this girl again is up in here. And I know I need a stylist, okay? But I don't think she knows how to dress to her body type. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because none of these outfits this week were cute. I was just like, and that last one, when
oh man. I was like, girl, what is happening here? But listen, let's get Tequila, let's get a sponsorship from Stitch Fix, because I needed help. So but on TV, I would have been like, I'm gonna make sure my outfit game is good for the whatever weeks I'm here.
I'm hiring somebody. My friend gonna come. Listen, we gonna put some outfits together.
Exactly.
If I'm gonna be on national television like this. Heck, sometimes I'll be on here like, shoot, this gonna be on YouTube forever. Let me figure out what I'm gonna be putting on.
I went back the other day. We still look cute. So it's just, I mean, we're only here. So that's what we gotta make sure. Right now, y'all don't want to know what's going on down here. So right here, I'm gonna try to be presentable, So I don't know. I was just like, girl. Anyways, what were you saying? I kind of interrupted you.
I just while she was there. So seeing her again on this date made me say, okay, I think I know what's going to be happening.
They're trying to set it
with
up.
her.
Yeah, because she said on the date, she was like, she said that Philip was holding a grudge because of the whole sex comment or question. Which every time they replay it, it's not that bad. I don't understand what why he's so upset about this or why she's even thinking about it. I wouldn't remember this. I would have been like, what now? What did I say? Oh, yeah. What? Why is this such a big deal?
That's the only reason I can think they put them together was to say, okay, let's see what
Let's
happens.
talk about it again. Oh,
remember that?
okay.
Yeah, bring that up. Let's see how he feels about that now.
He feels the same. He feels the same. And I could have guessed that he's just like, she not for me, period. And I'm sure
he was like,
she feels the same too. Like, I'm sure she's not like, I like Philip now, all of a sudden. She don't care about him. What happened to Travis? I wish they would have had her on a confessional talking about how she talked to Travis to see how he was or whatever. They just wiped him off. They were like, yep, he gone. Next.
You don't think he calling her behind the scenes?
Yes, I want to know about it. That's the juicy part. Instead of putting her here, they could have had a whole session with her and him on the phone. Be like, yeah, I almost got in a fight with Janelle over you. And I told them that they need to kick me out. And so I could be with you. And he would have been like, how you play saxophone?
Playing the sax or DJing.
That was for you, babe. All right, I gotta go. Bye.
That man would have been like, for real? Really? Oh man.
He's like, come to my next show. But you gotta pay though. Okay.
I'm in Houston. Come see me.
Come see me.
It. That man wasn't interested in you, girl. He was.
But I would have loved to see that instead of seeing this terrible date where Philip and Sierra were making a connection and she was sitting there. It would have been more interesting for me to see her last conversation with Travis. I'm just saying. Anyways. What's next?
Okay, did we learn anything out of this at all?
No. I still don't think Philip has a connection with anybody. I don't see Sierra having a connection with anybody. And we know what's going on with Tequila. I'll start jumping into that.
Tequila?
Yeah. So
yeah, there didn't much happen with them. I mean, I would say not takeaway, but I guess something to keep in mind. Sierra was talking about how she came from a big family, so she wants a big family. She wants to have like 6 kids or what have you, and she's ready to get started like yesterday. So I wonder if that's going to come up as like, whoa, slow down. Like I'm ready to go that far just yet. Sometimes they make that into a storyline, right? That women are so pressed to get married and have kids. Oh, that face. All right, moving on. You got the next group date?
Yeah. So James, Herbert, Aries, Lee, Unique.
James? Who is James?
James. We're using real names here. James. Okay. James, Herbert, Aries, Lee, Unique, and Christopher, a gang of people, go play flag football. Okay. This was actually a fun date to me. I thought it was cute. They had these random shots of them pretending to play football. And I was like, we didn't need this. It was like zoomed in, like
so obvious, right?
was like, why did you do that? Just do cuts of actually like them playing. What is this? It was so terrible. But I think so. Christopher is the new guy in the group, so he has to introduce himself to people, and I think he had an okay welcome. I don't think there was any like
it was like okay,
or welcome. Yeah, so they kind of just welcomed him in. He didn't seem too awkward with anybody either. He was just talking, shooting the breeze. I didn't have a lot of notes for this other than saying, this is what I learned. I learned that Unique is divorced and went through, I guess, a really bad divorce or had a really bad relationship or whatever. And she still seems like she's very hurt by this. And I don't know how long ago the divorce was. I don't know if she mentioned how long she's been single, but she seemed like she a little bit I don't know, something's up with her too. And then and I have that Aries said that she didn't actually say it. She was just like James asked her, "Oh, so are you attracted to me?"
Oh.
And she was just like,
Like, I don't want to lie.
I was like, why they left it like that? She probably said, "Oh yeah, I mean you all right," but they cut all that off. They were like, "Oh."
She probably was like, you're not my normal type,
He was like, "You're a straight shooter, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I am." So you attracted to me? She's like, "Didn't know that question was coming."
Eric, tell us what did you say? What was your real thoughts on that when he asked you? Put it in the comments. Let us know.
Please, because that was hilarious. I was like, "Gosh, poor guy."
So awkward, right?
It was. It was like, okay, next. Because they were doing like round robins. So everybody kind of met with everybody. Yeah. There's a lot of people. But yeah, what's your notes for that date?
I'm looking. So Unique was talking to Christopher and to Herbert, and that's where Herbert said the same thing as you said about her previous relationship, that there still seems to be something there that she may not be really ready to move on. Like she's still working on some things that need to be resolved. And later on, Christopher made some same comments as well. So it was interesting to see that and hear that conversation. And I was like, dang. Unfortunately, I was like, I already know what's going to happen with this conversation, what's going to happen with her. But it was so good to, as you get to know everyone and hear their story, to know that. That was it. I made sure I wrote down too about the Aries and Red James conversation.
You can call him Red, but he's gonna be James. That's your name, James.
I know, because the viewers know who we're talking about, because they don't show James, they show Red.
Okay.
Oh, she said okay. All right, so that was about it with that group. So next group date. Dang, I still don't know how to pronounce this man's name. How you pronounce it?
Either. I had to rewind it when nephew Tommy was saying it, and I was still like Morier. But I can't look at it because that's not. It don't look.
It don't look like how it's pronounced.
But I think it was like Morier. Y'all help us because we don't know. Like, is there a phonetic spelling?
Call him Mr. M.
So now you want to give nicknames. We're trying to use real names.
I mean, as someone who has had their name butchered, I understand. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep trying, but for now, you just going to be Mr. M for right now.
Has he said his name? I need him to say his name. That's the problem. I don't remember him
on the first episode.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully he
probably
says
did
it
on the first episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's him.
Yes.
Marvin, Philip, Jessica, and Kiera. Is that her name? Kiera. Okay. So Kiera.
Yes.
So it's
and Kat.
That group initially.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. Initially, and then walks in Kat, the new lady that's on the block, right? And so she walks in and she's greeting everyone, and Miss Kiera, she don't took a page out of Janelle's book, just throwing a little shade, like, oh, hi, don't get too comfortable, like giving all that kind of energy, like, we don't need you here. You're not gonna be here for long. But we shall see.
Is that how it works? Okay, go ahead. They don't get to. Do they get to vote on themselves? Do the women ever get to kick out a woman, or is it always the other? Okay,
always the other set.
Listen, I'm learning. So go ahead.
Always the other sets.
Okay,
the sets. So Kat comes in and she's, and she's feeling this energy from them. I mean, Jessica was cool. She was just like, "Hi, how you doing?" But like, well, who are you coming in now in week 3? But Kiera was like throwing all the shade. So Kat was like, these women, they kind of a little testy here. The men though are enamored. They're like, "Ooh, okay, hi Kat, welcome, looking nice." Ready to get to know her and everything. So I'm gonna jump to the interesting one though, is Mr. M and Jessica. Like, because this is really the first time we've seen him too. He has a little thing for her. So he's like putting it on the table that he likes her and he's interested in seeing, I guess, to continue to communicate and see where things will go. Won't say he didn't indicate that that's his only person he's interested in, but that she's definitely like one of the ladies that he's interested in. And she asked him about his last relationship, because I remember him saying in the first episode he had a few kids. I don't remember the number. You remember the number?
Just one.
I thought it was more than that. Just one?
That's what I have in my notes. He just told the story this week about how he got the one. That
right. I thought this was just the story of that one. I was about to get him like 3 or 4 kids. My bad.
This is not Brandon. They kicked him off quick. Listen, we don't need the drama. Get out of here, Brandon.
My bad. Okay, so he gives us the story of how he got the one, which is he had an ex-girlfriend. She got pregnant, but she was still
communicating.
With her
ex. An entanglement
with her ex. And so that is what happened. And so they decided to end the relationship. And so they co-parent their one child. Don't know if it was a boy or girl. Don't remember. But again,
it's a boy.
Here I am. Son. Okay.
Again, you want to give this man 15 children.
My bad.
Hey, Dominique.
I swear I remember that saying that. Hi, Dominique. So that was interesting. So, so that's a new quote unquote couple to keep an eye on, see what happens with them. Because Jessica hasn't really connected with anyone either that we've seen.
No, not that we've seen.
We'll see. So we'll see if where that goes.
But did she seem like she was into him?
I couldn't tell. I would say off the bat, no. She just was being friendly, being on a date. I didn't see anything to lead me to think that she was interested.
I feel like she doesn't show her cards well. Like, I can't tell, like when she's talking to someone, you can't tell if there's energy being exchanged. It just looks like she's pleasant, she's here, she's listening, she's engaged, but I can't tell like that, oh, okay, I could see a little something going on here. I don't see none of that.
Okay, because what we've seen her with Chris last week, and then just with the M this week, right? I think so.
Just more years.
Just those two, because we talked about the first episode how they introduced her, but we didn't really get anything from her. So last week we got to see her interact with Chris, and so this week we see her again. But yeah, it's very reserved. Like, it doesn't seem like there's anybody that she's really interested in, at least from what they've shown so far. So let's see, continue to watch her and see what happens. Let's see who else. Kat and Marvin, they had a little chat. Oh, this is where I think you were talking about her being an RN. So, nurses can work in different environments. They can work in an office setting and everything. But they did make sure to mention in this segment that she was a former ER nurse, but she left to go open a beauty bar in Arizona. I want more information. So, like, you live in Arizona, and you're just in Dallas for the show. You move to Dallas, like you're spending, so you're opening one in Dallas. Like, just a little bit more information about where things are and where she is. Is she another Mac from Married at First Sight that she's just going from city to city trying to get on the show?
She might be, because I was like, how you gonna have a whole intro about being a nurse and you ain't even a nurse right now? It's not even like she says on the side, she said, I stopped. I needed a break. So now I just open up a beauty bar and now it's going well.
Still be a nurse and oversee like the medical part. It's just I thought I took the break part meaning like working in the ER, whereas it can be very stressful and that kind of environment.
I didn't
That's
get
how
that.
I interpret that.
I took it as she's now a beauty bar owner
and just not doing nurse like.
No,
I mean, she'll always be a nurse, right? As long as she has her credentials or what have you.
But I don't think she's in anybody's hospital, anybody's office.
No, not in a hospital. No, I don't.
Or office, nothing. She is putting on lips, then eyelashes somewhere. She opened a business.
So why didn't she an esthetician, right? And doing that, if that's what it is.
Because the RN sounds better. Yes. And all my degrees and all this kind of stuff. You don't do all that and then open a beauty bar. Right. So.
But you're a business owner, that's
exactly. But an RN sounds better. Okay. So that's where she led with. But she ain't no dang active nurse right now, girl. Sit down. Anyways. Moving on. Oh, something else happened. Who did Kira talk to?
Marvin. That's what I'm looking at.
She was talking about the lingerie or whatever. Oh, I wore this or whatever. Was it for him? That's what she said. Because she knew he was going to be there.
I don't know why she even mentioned any of that. I don't remember what she said. She didn't need to mention any of that. But he was, when they were talking, he was saying how, I guess he's Caribbean background from the Virgin Islands. And so he would like to move back there and raise his kids and live and all of that. And she was just like, yeah, I'm not sure I'm really interested in that. And I was like, this sounds like Mac and Dom all over from Married at First Sight.
Oh my gosh, this man. I don't know what this man wants. I really don't. I'm so confused. He makes me confused. Because he can find somebody in the lifestyle. I don't know why he can't find somebody in the lifestyle. And then if you want to move to Virgin Islands, just do that and find love down there. I'm sure there's plenty of people that wants like someone from the States or something to be with. I don't know. I don't really understand. I go back and forth with him. So
yeah.
I don't think I had anything for this date. It was just so many people. So many people.
I know. I'm trying to keep it together. Let's say who else? Philip and Kat. What was he? Where's that little thing? I can't remember. Okay.
Wish I had the little Jeopardy thing.
Because I'm like, I can't remember either. I just wrote down their names, like to put down who ended up with who, and yeah, I think he found her attractive. I think that's all I could say. Yeah. Okay. I think that was all the dates then from the show.
Yes.
Motown Investor says Aries is our favorite. Oh, we love Aries too. Yes, we've been following her.
This is why we're watching the show.
Love on Stage.
Yes.
So we was watching her on Love on Stage on the dating show. Unfortunately, she didn't find love. So when we saw that she moved on to this show, we was like, oh yes, we're gonna support her and follow her through this journey. So we need more of Aries. So hopefully it's coming. So far, it's just been little pop-ups. It was nice to see the little segment last week at her house and everything. Yeah. But we need more. We need more.
She needs more airtime. And maybe they're just, because she's going to stay longer, they're trying to show more of the people that are about to go. like so that there's more content, and then she's gonna be there longer. But I still don't see her with anybody yet, so I'm not sure
I'm not
how
really
it's
seeing
gonna be.
of any of the guys either. I'm not really seeing anyone. I'm like, ooh, yes, they would be good, a good match.
Yeah, yeah. My
Herbert,
opinion
maybe, but I
change
need to see them
every
together.
my opinion changes every episode of these people because
Mhm.
we don't know them yet, and it's like you're not getting a lot of content from everybody, so it's like
And they
you
still trying to
can't
get to know each
tell.
other.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean, previous seasons, I think I was saying before that there are a couple people that like the first night they meet and that's it, and
that's it.
they make it through the rest of the season.
But I thought
Like
that's
the one.
how Lee and Quentin was supposed to be. But now I don't know. I'm confused
Why?
because, well, because now who was saying she was talking to Quentin? Janelle was talking to Quentin like for hours or
Well, they
whatever.
still can, they still all can talk, but it can still be
I
that,
don't think
as
so.
part of like, okay, I'm gonna talk to everybody. Oh, we mentioned that. Oh, it's coming up. About how they do talk to each other off, behind the scenes and everything.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think initially you have to still talk to everybody, but you still have that one person that you like really into. So we'll see if
Okay.
that's Lee and Quentin or if it's Quentin and Janelle.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Let's
it.
talk
So now
about
we
this.
head to the men's
Yeah, go ahead.
room where
Yeah.
the men's all get together and talk about what happened with their dates and stuff. Go ahead, you lead that one. You
The
shaking your head.
lounge is where everything come out, boy. That's when you get the real. Like the ladies' lounge was big, and now the gentlemen's lounge. We find out that okay, so they got to go through all the girls and be like, okay, who do you like? They go through all the people they like. They said who not so much. What not so much came up with Tequila, Unique. I feel like there was one other person, but I think it was like one person that was just like, I don't like this person. But now I can't remember who that is because it
Kira.
wasn't Kira. Oh,
Yeah,
because
Quint.
Quentin
Quentin.
threw. So they both threw each other under the bus. Something's going on right there. So, anyways, they're all telling about how Tequila is like the bottom. Tequila, no, no, no. You got about 3 people that don't feel unique. And so they're going through the list. And then what does this man say? So I think it was Monnier. Okay, wait, no. Chris is talking to Tequila. Sorry, I got to get my facts together. Chris is talking to Tequila, which is, I wasn't expecting that. So they're on the phone and he's saying that she's complaining that Monnier, I can't,
Mr. M.
Monnier,
We gonna learn it. We gonna learn it. Okay, it's just episode 3. Mr. M for
oh
now. Mr. M.
gosh, is out here trying to have connections with multiple females, right? So she doesn't appreciate that because he's talking to other women trying to get to know them, which is the purpose of the show. You are talking to Chris, so aren't you doing the same thing? I'm confused.
Girl.
And did he tell you? Like, I wanted to hear Tequila's side. We need to have more back and forth so I can understand what the real story is. Is she saying maybe he was kind of leading her on, saying, you're the only one for me? Or, like, like sometimes I can understand, like, if you are talking to somebody and you're thinking, oh, we have a connection, we know what it is. But then you're also hearing other females talking about, wait a minute, I talked to him last night, or we went on this other date last night, or whatever, and he was telling me the same thing, or, she feels like it's not all on me. And I'm like, I can't deal with a show like this because I know I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'll be like, if I like you, I like you. You are not mine. I am not yours. Period. So if you want to be open, then we cannot settle down and say, yeah, I like you, but I would have to be like, well, I just want to see what else is going on, so that you're clear. Because Tequila looked like she don't know what's like the show that she signed up for.
I think that she's grasping for somebody to like her, right? So as he even said at the first night when she was in the bottom two and she got saved and she was getting emotional and everything, she was talking to him. And I think that she was like, okay, there's something there, but for whatever reason, she was clinging on to Travis. So now Travis gone. I think she's like, oh, well, he's the only other person I really had a connection with or talked to. So now I need to try to cling to him to stay on the show. But he up here talking to everybody else except me. So what that mean for me? Like, I know I don't have nothing else with anybody else. So she already knew the writing was on the wall.
So did she like Chris? Is Chris like her, or was this like a pity call? Like, what is this? I'm confused then.
I mean, I'm assuming they all, exchanged numbers that first night. And maybe she's going down the list trying to find somebody so she can try to save. I mean, because otherwise, yeah, why would you? If you hadn't really you didn't really talk to him before. I don't know. We see a little bit of interaction. Yeah, we don't see everything. So maybe they had a good conversation enough to exchange numbers and want to continue to talk. And I don't know. But I do believe because Travis gone, she was like, okay, this is the only other one that did kind of give me some attention. I seem to have something with. And now he up here calling and talking to everybody else except me. That was my lifeline, the last lifeline, right?
Yeah.
From what was that TV show?
Nobody else ain't feeling her.
Yeah. So that lifeline is now gone.
Okay. Yeah. I can get with that because I was so confused. I was like, wait, what? And who? And why is she telling you? And I'm confused. And he was just like, listen, no. That's not going to work. So she at the bottom. Bottom. Okay. Unique is at the like one rung. So now she's going to have redemption week. So let's talk about these goodbyes that I hate this process that they go on these dates.
Oh, you don't like this one?
Why are you going on a date and ordering food to just tell somebody no? Last week, they had the guys, they were just doing drinks and stuff. They didn't really eat. Travis, he walked in, didn't know who was sitting on the other side of the table. It was a quick conversation. He was out. There was no food. There was no ordering.
It is very weird. Because it is weird, right? Because they're saying it more, at least this episode than previous, where it really seems like they go in thinking it's a date. Like, oh, I really haven't had a date with this person. So here's my time they ask me out. And so here's my time to get to know them. Mm-hmm. Not really knowing that they're the one in the bottom two about to go home. But this week with Unique, she mentions like, oh, I know the guys just recently got together. So like she kind of like, I kind of think I know what this is about. So
both of them,
that part is like
both of them said that.
Right. So it's like, okay, so you already know that you're at the bottom two then this week.
Right.
But previous seasons, they really didn't.
I'm not gonna start. She's like,
I don't know eating like not. So I'm gonna just let me wait and hear. Oh, okay. I'm saved. Okay, now I can order. Now I can eat.
Right. I'm not doing. They having small talk. They doing all this stuff. They order a whole meal came of small talk just to tell me in the middle of my meal, not dessert. Not my plate is not empty. Okay. I'm in the middle of a bite. You gonna tell me, yeah, you're not ready for love. What? I gotta flip the whole table. And I'm not paying for this meal. I gotta go. Am I supposed to continue eating with you? I don't understand. Like, what are you supposed to do at this point? It's so weird. It's just like, what is going on? Oh my God.
It does seem weird. I mean, they could just meet up at the park or something and just be like, hey, this is it. You're not ready to love.
That's the end. Bye. Friendship hug.
Right? Or you just go to the bar and just get drinks. Like, no
Something
need to order no
light.
food.
A whole plate of food. This girl was tearing it down. Her and Unique. Unique was eating too, but at least hers was a yes. So you chilling still. But the no, it's like, what am I supposed to do right now? Can I get this to go? I don't know. Like, what's going on? This is silly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Quentin and Tequila and Mr. M and Unique. So they give, the information back from the guys. So the information to Unique was that she's stop prejudging. That's what he said. Don't bring your prejudgment in or what have you to the process. And I was like, I don't know if I get that. Is that what they really was saying, sir? Sometimes I don't think they communicate well exactly what the group don't care for or identify as an issue with the person. And then the one with Quentin and Tequila, that would just seem awkward, like from the beginning. I feel like you just been like, yeah, so nobody likes you. I think you already know this. Bye. And be done with it.
Just walk in and be like, sorry, I just want to tell you this. Don't order no food because you're going to go home.
Don't order just nothing. The guys have spoken.
The guys have spoken.
You are the weakest link. Yeah. Oh, but they got to sit through that little awkwardness. And he just was like, okay. So you know what bothers me about not him, but the facial hair? It's like the beard is so thick here, but then it's so thin. His mustache.
Who?
Quentin.
Now I gotta go look. I don't know what he looked like. Let me look him up.
Oh, yeah, he got the beard. It's like thick here, but then it's like a little shadow in his mustache. I'm like, does that just not grow thick? Do you keep it light like that?
Let me see.
I don't know. I feel like pick one. Like, this needs to be more of a shadow beard or something.
Oh, he has a mustache?
Exactly.
I don't even see it.
So in this week's episode, you can see it more, but it's very thin. So maybe he didn't have one and it's growing because it always looked like it was a shadow or something there. So it might be growing in.
Okay.
I don't know.
I gotta remember what his real name too is, so I can use it.
What? Quentin. You know what his real name is.
Yeah, I can't even see it in this picture. Okay.
Watch next week. It probably don't grown in more and won't look as so noticeable, but
I'll watch next week. Okay.
I'll go back.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I don't know. I think it's quite obvious that Tequila is the one that got eliminated.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know
Tequila,
if we actually ever said that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So she's out of here. Good riddance. I do hope you find someone. It just wasn't in this group. It wasn't in this group. That's just how it is. What? Close your mouth. I don't mean that in a mean way. It wasn't any of these guys. Okay. What?
You said close my mouth. Making sure. Go ahead.
You're gonna cover it. All right. Well, then that's it for this week. Unless you have anything else to add.
Nothing. We'll get to next week so I can be shocked by this process some more. So.
All right. Next week is back to the women. They're in control and they will get to select which guy gets kicked off of the show. No, we're not going to do predictions. We'll wait and see. All right. Well, that is it. Not sure about next week if we'll be filming on Sunday. We might have to skip that week, but hit the notification button so that you will find out if we are going live or not. In the meantime, we want to remind you to do what?
Protect your throne. Bye.
Bye. Have a good week.
Stitch Fix.